what piece of advice would you give to a younger self when you're starting out on being a leader?
I will tell myself the same words on the t-shirt. There's beauty in the struggle. Why those words again? Because I have thrown in the towel at positions or at initiatives that could have made me farther than where I am today. I gave up too early because I felt like it's too painful. This struggle is not for me. But looking at what I have achieved after going through series of struggles, there's beauty in it. And only if I was patient at that time, I could have been somewhere very far today. So I would still tell myself there's beauty in the struggle. Calm down. Walk through it.
When you're organizing events, there are a lot of stuffs that happens. Some are challenging, some are disappointing, and some are just funny. You just sit there and start laughing.
And some are all of the above.
Yes. So I remember on our last event with Vusis Lembekwayo, something happened and I was so surprised. As you said, you wanted to bring Vusi some other day in the past.
Ila mmeweza ndugu zangu mchota tu. Mmeweza. Zile sifuri niliziona.
So you saw the price.
Yeah.
It's in the region of tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to mention that.
Bisa, you can't.
Because I'm sure Vusi will want to sue me.
Yeah.
Because we had a contract with him. But the funny thing that happened is after paying all those tens of thousands of dollars to Vusi, after doing everything for him because he wanted first class, everything, presidential suit.
Apart from the payment.
Yes, presidential suit. He wanted all the cars that are carrying him to be G classes. Yes, he wants sparkling water. He wants security, to be wearing some kind of clothes that he wants. That guy is very organized. So, coming to the funny thing that happened is after paying all that money, after receiving him, he was in the hotel. The next day, we were supposed to do an event. So,
the dinner now, or the
first event, yes. So, some money shorted, about $40. And that $40 is not that we didn't pay it. We paid it. We paid the full amount. But the bank had to take some charges. So it wasn't our fault. It was the bank's fault. And they said, we're not going to do an event if you don't pay that $40.
Out of those figures that I know, because I have an invoice from them.
Yes. I was so surprised. I remember I didn't see that email coming in. So we were just chilling and finalizing for the next day. And one of our co-founders, Monty, came to me like, bro, did you see this email? I was so disappointed. At the same time, I found it very funny. I was like, oh man. Yeah, that was
and then
mko naye
macho makavu kabisa.
So
God. Okay.
Yeah. So how about you? Because you organize events as well. So what's the most funny or unexpected situation that happened?
Mine was worse.
Yeah.
Mine was worse. Bora nye $40. Mnaweza hata mkachangishana. Ni how much in shillings?
It was
around 120. Tachangishana hata 10 or I thought in 10. What happened to me is the event is here and I'm confirming with all the sponsors. And one sponsor of mine backed out.
Okay.
And without this sponsor, there's no event.
Wow. They backed out after giving the money or before?
Huyo alikuwa atoia. Huyo alikuwa anatoa service.
Okay.
Na bila service yake bro,
there's no event.
Event hamna.
Wow.
And they backed out because
Yeah.
they had another event that's bigger
Okay.
that they're paid.
Okay.
So 4 days towards the event, I don't have a decor and setup team.
You don't have a what?
Decor and setup team.
Okay. Wow. I'm really interested on where this story is going.
God.
Yeah.
Remember I told you, out of my teammates, out of the board, tulioweza kufika mwisho pamoja.
Yeah.
Ni mimi na the chairperson.
Okay.
Only by God's grace.
Yeah.
Salute to her.
How did you handle that?
I'm getting there. So my board chairperson was from surgery a few months ago. So we couldn't put a lot of strain on her.
Okay.
So at that point, I have sponsors ambao tayari wako hapa.
Okay.
And I have this hiccup. What do I do about it? I got to Arusha 3 days before the event for setup, kupokea other delegates that were coming from South Sudan and all that, because we had some people fly in. And oh, by the way, I just remembered one other thing. I also had cancellation from the guest of honor.
Wow.
I had cancellation from the guest of honor 2 hours. No. Something like 7 hours before the event.
Okay.
We'll get there. Let's start with the decor.
And you already announced the guest of honor? And
Yeah.
they cancelled?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Former president of one country.
Okay.
And I'm told, I'm sorry, he can't make it. So we are sending
His
this
representative.
representative. Did I even get a representative, my brother? I didn't. I didn't. I couldn't even get the Secretary General to come in because he also had issues of the state, of the partner states to deal with.
Yeah.
So I got the representative of the Secretary General to come as the guest of honor. Now, you know, on events we like to do venue setup a night before.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I couldn't do that because there was another event at Grand Melia at that night, which I was promised it will end by midnight. Until midnight, I didn't know how the setup was going to be.
Okay.
I was so confused. And I tried getting 3 invoices of how much it will cost to do venue setup.
Okay.
And I remember a very good friend of mine, a brother I can say, gave me a quotation of 54 million
Okay.
Tanzanian shillings to do setup.
Okay.
Let me remind you, on these
Wow.
awards, we didn't charge anyone who was coming in.
Okay.
It was, you come into the event, dinner will be served, you have an invitation card, there's no buying tickets or anything.
Yeah.
And for the venue, you understand it's Grand Melia, so you pay per person per head for dinner.
Okay.
We had all that sorted. Until when all the invoices that are coming, the list for setup was 35 million.
Okay.
Let me remind you, it's 4 days before the event, and you're supposed to raise 35 million.
Okay.
So I didn't. So that night, standing there looking at that venue, my head was blank because I was too tense to do anything. So I remember Madam Advocate Eleanor, our chairperson, asked me, what are we going to do about the venue? And I told her we'll use it the same way it is, with no decor. And she turned around and looked at me like, are you crazy? How? And I was just like, yeah. And I went to bed because at that time I was frustrated. So waking up past midnight, the event downstairs is still ongoing. So there's nothing I can do. I can't even access the venue. And they didn't bring out their things until 10 a.m. the day of my event. 10 a.m. the day of my event.